In the immortal words of the great harmony and rhythm architects, the Pointer Sisters, I'm so excited. Y'all, we have so much fun stuff going on. And yeah, I know you're saying, well, good for you. We're so happy for you, Eric. But this is not excitement that I hoard all to myself. I want to share it with you. Like I am sharing it with so many people that are my partners far and wide, helping me do this, and we're all having a blast, and we're all excited. And we should be because of everything that's happening. So when I tell you what we have going on here, it's not bragging. I'm not talking about it to just rub it in your face. And I'm not talking about something that I used to do or that I could do, or that I'm now teaching you how to do because I did it once upon a time. This is stuff that's happening right here, and it's just exciting. It's the excitement to be doing what I've wanted to do my whole life, and probably what we all have wanted to do our whole lives. Make music. Get it heard. Get it out to mediums where it will be used, and eventually make us music income. We all want that, right? Isn't that what we all want? Isn't that why you're here at a channel called Make Music Income? So how can you get this? How can you get this excitement? Well, either you can join with me and rule the galaxy as father and son, or you can take the what and how of what I'm going to talk about today, how I did it, what I'm doing. I'm not going to explain exactly how I did. I'm going to explain what is happening. There's enough videos out there talking about, here's how I did a thing, and you can do a thing too. This is how I'm doing it right now. What happened yesterday, literally, with an album being accepted and things like that, and how I can talk, what I'm doing and how you can do it too. That's what I want to say. So yeah, this excitement that you have for making music, I know you have it. I have it. And I also know that you have a desire to get your music into sync or into licensing or on streaming or whatever, or you want to serve music clients or whatever you want to do with your music. I think what I'm going to talk about today will get you excited, because if I did it and I am doing it, you can do it and be doing it. Okay, so maybe you can't rule the galaxy. Do you really need to rule the galaxy? But you can get things going with your music, and maybe, just maybe, this podcast will help. And hey, listen, I struggled to get my music out too for a long time until I decided to build my own thing, work and play with others, and serve clients. And that's what we're going to talk about today, the exciting results of doing that. So, are you ready to be excited? Welcome to the Make Music Income podcast. My name is Eric Copeland, and I've made a full-time living as a music producer, composer, and arranger for over 25 years. In this podcast, I talk about making music income with music licensing, music production, music streaming, music royalties, being a music composer, arranger, producer, or artist, or really any way that I have in the past or currently now or want to make music income. I have free and paid courses and coaching and ebooks for you at makemusicincome.com/free. Make sure to like this podcast if you enjoy the content, because it really helps, and subscribe if you're just finding the podcast or channel and want to be part of things every week. I hope all this content helps you make the music you love to make and make music income. Indeed, I hope that you find some excitement today. And I'm glad you are here, because this is kind of a celebration. It is a celebration of what's happening right now. And when you see these numbers, when you see what's happening, you'll be excited too. And people are becoming a part of it, just like you. And so we can talk about that too. But today I do want to start, I didn't even write this down, But at the last minute, you may notice something in the picture. Can you find something in the picture that's not normally in the picture? Can you see something that's not normally in the picture? Well, actually, let's write up a little thing of it because I think I need to. We won a thing, and it's right over here. As a matter of fact, this is news. Sorry. Absolutely. Roger. Yep. Got it. What's that? Okay, I'm hearing from my producers that I need to actually grab the award so you'll know that we won a thing. We won our third Telly Award, which is extremely heavy and pretty impressive. But it's and very nice to have. I have two more over there, as you may know. But this was for the use of music, a song called "The Rest of My Life," and it was used in "The Rest of My Life" was featured in the Netflix show Love Is Blind, and it was at the very top of the episode. Just a beautiful placement. I've talked about it before and shown it off before, and it's still one of those great placements, where the song is playing with the vocals, which almost never happens. Usually the music is playing and you're just hearing the background music or something. But the vocals were playing right off the tip of the show, right after what happened last week. Boom. And so it was a great placement. So I submitted it to the Tellys, and I have done it before. I'm not really sure that keyboard will hold that. It's really heavy. You would not believe how heavy that is. But I have submitted some things before. I submitted a song a few years back around COVID time. I won one. And then back in 2009, I won another bronze one for an EP or an EPK for an artist. And so probably once a year, I will pick something that's a really good placement and submit it to the Tellys because they're nice. And if I ever need to impress people, I can show them my awards. Otherwise, they'll just become paperweights for my children. I don't know what they will do. But won a thing. So that's pretty cool. And I just got the statue in this week. So that's an award. I think I have that clip somewhere. Yeah, good. Arco found the award. That's very good. O'Reilly says, congratulations. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Thanks, Bradford. The news stinger was for you. So, yeah, that happened. So now we can get on with the show. I just kind of saw that and said, you know what? I probably need to feature that thing. But today, we're going to talk about why I'm so excited. Why is he so excited? Well, I'm excited for a lot of reasons. And mainly, and we'll start out with this just because you need to know this as we go. I've shared about our Positive Spin Partners program before. And there's a big reason because this video channel that you're watching now or this podcast that you're listening to now is all about talking about how we do things. And when I say we, I don't have a mouse in my pocket. I have partners. I have people who work with me on a weekly basis, and we come up with songs, and some of them are producers, some of them are writers, some of them are artists, and we all work together towards what I'm going to talk about today and why I'm so excited and none of this really could I do alone that I'm getting ready to talk about today. I can't do any of it alone. It's not me. Well, it's a little me. It's a lot of me. I mean, literally, I'm the one who puts it all together, but I can't put together a bunch of people without the bunch of people. And so the Positive Spin Partners program, there's a video you can watch right here at this link, and it's in the description below too. So if you want to find out more about it, because I'll be referring back to it all the time. But why in the world is he so dang excited? Well, And yes, there is going to be exclamation points and emojis on every title. So get ready for it. It's just what we're talking about today calls for emojis, I think. I even made an emoji for today. But I'm so excited because I look at the amazing results. And one of the reasons is that album went out last week, an album went out this week. And when I say went out, they actually were either delivered to the library or the library said, cool, load it up. And so I will be delivering it to the library. But that kind of thing, and when you see the list here in a little while, so stay with me because I'm going to show you a list of what we've done this year. And it is a testament to everyone that has been part of things with me. And my team in Nashville, and especially all the libraries and people that I'm working with. So we'll talk about all that here in just a second, but you'll see why I can't sleep, why over the past year since I started this program, we have just been cranking out album after album after album. And I wake up every morning as soon as the sun is up, raring to go. My body sometimes says, no, don't get up. Please don't get up. But I get up eventually. And I am jumping in here, getting my tea ready, stretching, and getting ready to do this thing because there's so much to do. And I do put a lot on my shoulders, but that's because I don't know too many people who, I do know some, but I don't know too many people who will do as much as I can do in a day, just because they're not crazy people. And so anyway, let's talk about why I'm so excited. And let's start with the very first thing. And that is music libraries. I mean, I know there's a lot of people watching this that goes, there's a better way to do music licensing than music libraries. You can just get a sync agent and you can do your song and they will take it and pay you $4,000. Well, fine. Good for you. But that's way more of an if. I guess it's all ifs. There's if in everything. I've got a video called The Dangers of If coming. And it talks about briefs. Which are just ifs. If you take out the BRE, they're just ifs. But we have music libraries, we have sync agents, we have direct-to-music supervisors, we have ads, we have all these kind of things. And we're going to talk about briefs here in just a moment. I'll talk about it. But right now I want to talk about music libraries because this has been the answer for me for my life's dream. And I'm not being overly dramatic here. Since I was a teenager, I wanted to be signed to a music publishing company. That was the goal. I was writing songs, and I did not necessarily want to be out on stage playing them. I have done that a billion times, but I haven't. That wasn't my goal. Now, back in the 80s and 90s, that was about the only way to get seen and heard, is to make some kind of product and get out and hawk it by singing on stage. But that I just did that because there was no other way. I would go to Nashville and try to hawk my music to people, and it was the wrong place to be. I should have been in Los Angeles, likely. But anyway, music libraries, I found out about this. Not that this is something new, but I was late to them because I was busy in Nashville producing 1,000 people and their albums. So they could get out on stage and undo the thing and sell their CDs. And all of that was good training and good relationship building as I built a production team in Nashville of just, a cast of thousands. And they're all still helping me and working with me now, which is immeasurable help. So, but around 2016, I found out about music licensing. And the main way I heard about it was making music for music libraries, that you could put your music, your albums up into these libraries, and people who needed to use them, mainly music supervisors or people with needs for music would go to these libraries, use it, pay. It would get on television or get in a movie or get in an ad, and there would be royalties, and either way, up front or in the back or both. And so I said, you know what? That's really what I want to do. I was working on my master's in composition. I said, I want to do that. So I started submitting to music libraries. And now, just again, to celebrate what is going on, I wish I had little poofs of things. I don't think I have poofs. I probably do in this program. I just don't know where they are. But music libraries, and when I say, and that is, there is an S on that. It's not just a music library. I signed with a few early, but it wasn't until a BMG library came along, and a guy there who I owe so much to, he's probably cursing my name right now because he's currently got 6 albums of mine that they're sifting through to put out on that BMG label. Still working with him 5 years later, and still is the library that gets me the most placements across, and all my partners' placements. So we have 6 albums right now with that library. We have another library that we are working with that is great and very efficient, and love working with them as well. And they are also now somewhat of a Warner Chappell affiliate. And so we have the BMG stream, we have the Warner Chappell stream a little bit. I also have a direct connection now with Warner Chappell, and have been doing some work with them and some things for them. I have another library that's relatively new this year, and that has paid up front for some projects. I have several libraries in Los Angeles, several more throughout the world. Actually, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them are in Los Angeles, and then one, a new one, another BMG library, is outside of the U.S. And so just celebrating today the excitement of having these great libraries to be able to provide music to. And as you'll see in a little bit, when I talk about delivering albums, you'll see the list of how many albums are going out per month. Albums per month. That's like 10 songs, plural. That means more than 10 songs going out a month. And 2025 has just been amazing. And I think next year could be even more amazing. But from here on out for this year, it's crazy. We'll talk about it. But it's because I have these music libraries. It's because I've made relationships with music libraries. And you're like, well, how do I do that? Well, there's a lot of answers. And all you have to do is go down into the description, and you can see how I got into music libraries, because I have a course called Getting into Sync. And Getting in Sync. And when I got into Sync, this is exactly what I did. And it's not a super mystical, magical formula. It's straight up contacted libraries with quality music. And then here we go. Here we are with all these libraries now. I have made a little bit more of a concentration this year in finding some new libraries over the past year, I would say. And some of these new libraries I was talking about at the top of my library list are part of that. But I still keep the relationships with the other libraries that I'm working with. So the other super exciting thing besides music libraries, and again, if you want more information on how to get into music libraries, I've done other videos on that, and you can just check out the sync licensing playlist that's on my site, and you'll see lots of videos about how I did it, how I did this, what I did, exactly what I did. I go through it there, and then you can also find it in the ebook and the course, which are down below. But let's move on here now to another music library that I'm about to be in is my own. And I even made a tiny little logo. You can't really see the logo, but Creative Soul Records has its own logo. Creative Soul Records is basically the company or the label presence that I've been using since 1997, when I first started producing other people for money, large money. My first 5-figure producing project came in 1997 when I got to produce a couple that let me be part of the production of their album, and we had a grand time, and they were the first official artist on Creative Soul Records. But now, 28 years later, Creative Soul Records is about to become a sub-label of a library in Los Angeles, and very excited to be part of this company and build my own sync label. Now, what does this mean? What will this be? Well, this is kind of a renewed focus for Creative Soul Records because in recent years, it's been home to a few artists, mainly artists that are faith-based or positive or whatever. And but now I have a country artist, I have a folk pop artist, I have quite a few artists. And so Creative Soul Records will continue to be a record label presence, but it will also be a sync label focused library and label. So kind of a renewed focus, a sync focus in addition to helping people produce their stuff. And since I will be a publisher myself with Creative Soul Records, I will be able to bring artists in. That's right. If you are a music artist and you make your own music, it's really no different than if any artist or singer or writer or whoever had come to me through the years, they can still do that. Except now our focus will be making music. I'm probably not going to be just a straight up label for artists. That's just not what I am anymore. It's just a producer for artists. I will tell you that if you are someone who wants to make some music income, being a producer for artists is good music income. It's probably the easiest way to make 6 figures of music income is by being a busy music producer for other artists. But that's not what I want to be anymore, straight up. I want to be more of a person involved in every record or involved in music that I actually care about and that I love, not just that clients bring to me. And so that's what Creative Soul Records is going to be. Here's the cool part. I have negotiated with my library that my artists will be the ones that put their music up on streaming. Now, that may not be a big deal to you, or you may not know that's a big deal, but the normal deal with labels or sub-labels of libraries is that BMG or whoever, they're the ones that put the music up on their Spotify and their Apple Music and stuff like that. And they do not allow artists to put that on there. But this is a special thing that I've been negotiating lately with some of my labels or libraries, is to let my Creative Soul artists, especially the artist-based people, go ahead and put their own music up themselves. Because this is a very important part of being an artist. And so if we're going to be a kind of an artist-focused library, well, we need to be able to let artists be artists and put their stuff up there. So we're doing that. And there's probably possibility for more writers' royalties since I'll be a publisher. So there's some really cool things. This is an invitation-only thing. This isn't just a store where you go to get your music done and put out. I have to really be excited about your music, and or work with you and like working with you and stuff like that. So it's going to be very much like a label, except for the fact that you'll own all your back-end sales, all your streaming. I'm not going to get involved with that unless I am a co-writer, and then that changes things a little bit. And also I do charge a production and A&R monthly fee to be part of this label, because I am producing everything. I am making sure it all happens. I am making videos. I am making promotional things. I am doing all these kind of things. So traditionally, artists have paid me to be their producer so they can make everything on the back end. And that's what this will be too. Unless I'm co-writing, you'll make everything on the artist side as far as anything you sell, all of your streaming, and then you'll also make all your writers' royalties in some cases, depending on if we co-write or not. So that's Creative Soul Records. Very excited about this. Could happen anywhere from officially, it's officially now a label and a website, but It will officially kind of become its new thing in November or January. Not quite sure. Somewhere around there. So super excited about Creosote Records. Let's go to the comments and just say hi, because a lot of people have been making comments. Arco says, hey man, would love to know why you're so excited. Well, I hope you know. Sup, mate? Good to see you. Really good. O'Reilly's at the optometrist right now, and his eyes are dilated. Well, I'm glad that you're listening. Thanks for being part of it. Daydream Studios in the house. Tim Krantz in the house. Let's see who else is in the house or has any questions. Tim says, I started building my first studio for customers this past weekend. You go. I'm telling you, it's where the money is. You want to make some money, go and get some clients. Just cut to the chase. Bro, this is a podcast. You're just going to have to settle in, put your feet up, get yourself a nice cup of brew. That's not coffee. I'm a tea drinker. Let's get to the next thing that I am just so excited about. He's just so excited. And that is delivering albums. I've talked about being a person who's working with music libraries. Being with a music library it's great to be with a music library, but it's not great to be with a music library if you're not delivering anything to anyone. So unless you're developing music and here's the most important word, delivering albums. So I just want to give you a little taste of how much we are delivering, because I could sit here all day and tell you what you need to do is you need to make music for sync and start a sync music career. That all seems cool, and everybody wants to do that because everybody thinks, oh, that would be so great. Make music, send it to libraries, people find it and use it, put it in their shows, and I just sit back and wait for my quarterly income. Well, that's true. You can do that, but you'll be waiting for years for that income. FYI. Now, there are upfront deals. You can do straight up deals with sync agents. You can do things and get money up front. There's usually, in those cases, there may not be. There can be. There can be money in the back end. There cannot be money in the back end, depending on the deal. But to do what I'm talking about, deliver albums to libraries, you've got to actually send the files to libraries. You've got to get the album approved by them and sent to them. So I just wanted to share with you a little in this video, what I am doing and why I'm so excited, because this is not an easy thing. Here is just an idea of what we've delivered. You can see January, we delivered 4 songs to this library. We delivered this album of 12 songs. You can see the partners over here. We delivered 6 songs over here to BMG, and that was January. Remember, some of these months are a little lighter because we had just started this program in September, October of last year. So before that, I was just making albums on my own and or with a few partners. But now almost everything has to do with another partner, because I decided instead of sitting here and just trying to make an album of my own, it was better to work with others. And so you'll see as we go down here, February's project delivery. This was my first album for this library, 10 songs. And then in March, this was a second album for that same library. And then in April, we start to speed up. We've got a full album delivered to a new library. We've got 2 songs delivered over here to this library. And then we've got 11 songs delivered again to a new library that I just signed with this year. And then 3 singles delivered to that library. We have, then June is where things really get going. And this is about back, if you remember in May, I had a video called 100 Songs in May or something like that. And that's because all of these albums were kind of hitting at once. I was anticipating all these albums starting to hit. Well, they all hit. And in June, we had 5 full albums go out to 3 different libraries. And then I'm talking about when I deliver to them. When they get up is a different discussion, but delivering the music to them, getting the contract signed, all that kind of stuff, and being done, you've done your job. You've done the most you can do at this point as far as getting them out and getting them into possible television shows and things. June is great. July was even better. We had a couple singles go out, and then we had 5 more albums go out. 5 more albums. Folks, do you know if I delivered 5 albums, even averaging 10 songs a month, that would be 600 songs. 600 songs. And that is a way that we can all get. People ask me all the time, how are we going to get enough music out there to start seeing consistent placements? Well, that in the music library game, I think you have to have quite a bit out there. I know people who make 5 figures, and they don't make that by only having a couple dozen songs in libraries. They have hundreds, if not thousands. Yes, thousands with an S. And those people who have thousands with an S, who are writing specifically for libraries who want their music, are making bank, because that library wants their music because they know shows that they're going to go in. And that's where this all really has to work, but that's another video. So here, all these albums, they were sent to the library. They're just getting out now, some of these. We have August, which was also a very strong month, including these last 2, which are literally have been accepted today and are uploading today, yesterday and today. So this is what we're looking for. And you can tell, I have a feeling that everything is going to pretty much be like June, July, and August from this point on, because I've kind of started the delivery headers for these 4 months, the last 4 months of the year. But you can see all these albums, and there will be more albums, but these are all underway in some form. Almost every one of these has tracks already started, and if not all of the tracks done and finishing. And so they're going to all these different libraries. Now you see CSR starting. CSR is Creative Soul Records. That's mine. A lot of these are probably going to go into my library as soon as it launches. So, but I will continue to send these to people, to libraries, and tell them, hey, this is available. And it depends. If I can send something to a BMG or Warner Chappell and they will take it, that's a better bet than my own starting out label. And so that's still going to happen. Pitching albums to all of my libraries is still going to happen. Not just pitching to my own label, which I don't have to pitch to my own label, by the way. My own label, I make the decision if the album goes on or not, which is pretty cool. All right, so you get an idea of what I'm talking about and why I'm so excited. This, if you're wondering why I'm so excited and you've been waiting all this time, this is the reason. Averaging 5 albums or more music going out per month. That is the goal, and that is what is happening. Going out to music publishers. 5. If you told me when I was a teenager that I'd be putting 5 albums out to music publishers per month, I would be like, how in the world would I do that? Well, I'm doing it. And so it's very exciting. And to me, this is the most exciting part of this whole deal, is delivering albums to all these libraries. The other reason I'm very excited is requests and briefs. And this is basically either libraries wanting something specific from me, like we just did a Christmas album. Christmas was closing. The Christmas window for them was closing. And so I suggested a cello album, and they loved it. And so we did a cello album for them and put it in. And so Other libraries come to me and say, hey, we're doing a percussion thing. Can you give us some tracks for that? Another one comes up and says, I need reggaeton, which is what I've been working on the past few days and finishing today and turning in. And so different libraries request different things, and or they might actually even need you to work on a specific project. A few weeks ago, I was contacted by one of my contacts at a large sync library, and they had a national ad that they needed help with. And so I was able to help with that and make a little scratch from some demo work for them, and got a great email back from them yesterday saying thank you and for all the work. So that can happen. So briefs are not my favorite, as you'll know if you've been on this channel before. Briefs mean someone is giving you directions on what to do. And for me personally, it's a little too much like working for artists in the old way I used to work, where they would tell me, I want you to do my songs and make them just this way, and this is the way I want. And I always did it for money, and apparently I still am. But I really wanted to be more of help to this production label. And so that was really the reason I did it, not because I love briefs. But you know what? As a friend of mine pointed out, you shouldn't complain when you are being paid money to create music for something. And ads are how I started. Jingles is how I started back in 2000 when I got fully out of corporate and I had to only make my money with music. I had to figure a way to do that. And a lot of you want to figure out a way to only make your money with music. But let me tell you, that means you're going to be doing requests from clients and briefs from clients and things like that. Especially if you want to play in the advertising part of sync or the sync agent part of sync, where the sync agent says, I need this song this week, and you spend your week making that song. Yes, you can then make a couple grand to $5,000 to $10,000. Go back a few videos and watch the video I did with Christian Hale, where we talked about comparing music libraries to doing music on demand, so to speak, per week for a sync agent or a client of some kind. But still excited that libraries are requesting us to do certain things and make certain albums for them, and always happy to try and please and work for them. So super excited about that. Also, super excited to be tracking. Now, this is something that I've been doing for 30 years as I go into the studios wherever I'm living, and or now kind of virtually do it in Nashville. We actually have a tracking session coming up Tuesday and Wednesday next week in Nashville with some of the great players of country music, and that'll be happening on Tuesday and Wednesday. We're tracking 13, 14 songs, and those songs will go on Sync Records, and or one of them is for, several of them actually are for artists who may also release them personally. But we get to do tracking all the time. And tracking doesn't only happen in Nashville. It also happens all around the world with different people that we hire or different people who are our partners who play instruments. I had several. I had one Nashville guitarist help me out on that ad I was doing. And then I had one of our partners also help out with some guitar work on another one of the ads I was working on. So we are tracking all over the place. And so that is part of what we do. That's part of being part of Positive Spin Partners, is that you have a team behind you. If you can't play guitar and it needs guitar, we got guitar. If we need real drums, we got real drums. If we need, now I just spoke to someone the other day, Jack, if you're watching, hello, who plays all sorts of wind instruments. And so we're talking about doing things. So we have, you need bassoon? We got bassoon. I can get you bassoon in about 2 hours. I can get you bassoon, in about 2 hours. But we have it. We have all that. There's no need to pay a company. Well, you're going to have to pay somebody, I guess, to do the part. But inside our partners program, a lot of times our partners will play for PRO, for being part of the song. So that can be a money saver. So we have tracking going on all the time. That's fun and exciting, and it's something that adds a little extra dimension that the music libraries love. That all of my people that I work for at music libraries, at music labels and publishers love, especially in the day of AI, where it's getting increasingly hard to tell how. I had to ask someone how they cut something this week. I'm like, how did you make this? It doesn't sound bad. Now, it doesn't sound great, but it doesn't sound bad. How did you make this? And they told me they made it with AI. That's Suno. And we can't have that. We can't have that. Actually, literally the contracts state we have to sign a piece of paper that says we're not using AI companies to create the music that we're creating. So, and as we just saw a minute ago, someone said exactly that. Fellow music producers making music from scratch, right? Not making it. And that's what we're doing. We're tracking with real players, is doing that. So that's a lot of fun, very exciting. One of the other things that really super excites me every week, and you may not even know about this, but as part of our partners program, we do a Monday morning meeting at 11 a.m. every week. It's just for our partners, and it's very fun. And I thought I would show it to you a little bit. We talk about different things. We talk about what we're working on that week, and we talk about new things. This is like what I'm going to talk about for this week. And we talk about just different things. We talk about last week, we talk about this week, what we're doing, and we talk about where I need help. So anybody who is part of this can find out where they can be involved as a partner. So it's pretty cool, part of our partners program. And it's just a lot of fun. It's something that excites me every week to do, because it's similar to this, what we're doing right now. But instead of talking to you to teach, I'm talking to other partners who are actually working with me that week. It's like our team meeting on Monday mornings, just like you have at your job. We have a team meeting every Monday morning. And it's so fun, and it excites me to no end, because apparently I get excited very easily. But that's what we do with Positive Spin Partners. It's not just it's a way to work together. There's also a weekly email update I send to everybody, and then there's emails going back and forth all the time with my partners. So to me, this is, there are other sites that you might see. Jesse has his Sync Academy, I think is what he calls it. Dave Croft has 52 Qs. Both great communities. Stevie B has the Production Music Academy. Great. My thing is working with partners on songs for sync. And it's not that those guys aren't doing that, but they are more so in the teaching realm, and we are in the doing realm only, really. I mean, you learn, obviously, through being a partner. And again, you can find information below in the description, a link to click to, a way to email me and get in touch. We're getting new partners all the time. I just had some new partners come in this week, and am talking to new partners just about daily about coming into our program and being part of this and being part of this. And that is really the focus that I have, is to work with you on music that we all can benefit from. And not all partners benefit. Usually I'm working with one partner at a time on an album that me and that partner are working on. We kind of find some common ground and an album that I would like to put out, either through a library that I have or through my own library. And we work on that album and we put it out. The reggaeton album that I'm delivering today is a perfect example of that. One of my partners, Levi, is working on that with me and helped me develop all of those tracks. And so that's pretty much a 50-50 between me and him. And it's going to a library that pays a little differently than normal sync just because of what their customers. But he may see money on that much sooner. But I'm getting new partners in all the time. And that's super exciting to me. That's another reason why I am so stinking excited about waking up every day and working on music, because I've got new people every day coming to me saying, I do this. What about a mariachi album? I'm like, yes, please. Actually, I have a library who wants a mariachi album. If you play any kind of Mexican guitars, and when I say Mexican guitars, I mean guitars, I don't even know what their names are, but we're talking the ukulele family. We're talking about the guitar family. There's a big kind of bass guitar. Some of you know what I'm talking about. There's violins and trumpets are also involved in mariachi, and then maybe even some vocals for mariachi. So, and accordion perhaps. But that's just an example of an album that has been asked for. Talk about the request from clients. A mariachi album has been asked for. And I've actually talked to a mariachi group down here in Florida about coming to the studio. That I haven't heard back from them, but I'm trying to get that done and make that happen, because I do have a request for a mariachi album. So this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about, that I talk about every week. And it may be that on this show, I just start talking about the things that I need. I've been doing it now for weeks. There was literally a video called What I Need about 3 weeks ago. And that is why these new partners are coming in and emailing me. And I expect even after today's video that there will be some new partners emailing me and getting in touch because of this partners program. So that's why I'm excited, folks. If you're wondering, why is he so dang excited? Well, I'm very excited. Won an award. I'm so excited about that, but more so, I'm excited to wake up every day and work on all of these albums that are going out to libraries, and to meet every week with people and talk about what we're doing and what I need, and just do all the things that it takes to put multiple albums out per month. I can't do it alone. And so I'm just excited that I've found a lot of people who are like-minded and want to be part of this. This is not something that is for hundreds of people, this partners program. I can't do this program with that many people. As a matter of fact, we are probably at capacity right now with about 20 partners, plus all my players in Nashville. My players in Nashville are different because they are used to doing 1,000 things. They are used to working on 6 to 10 songs a day, and some of them are doing overdubs, and I can just send them something and they just put it in their overdub pile and they get to it the next day. So that's not as difficult for them. But a lot of my partners are not used to a great amount of work. And some are fast and some are slow and some are in between. But it's just great to have all these partners, and that's why this excites me to no end. If you have any last comments, if you have any comments or questions, put them in the chat or put them in the comments below. Just about done today. Going to keep it to an hour. How about me? But I just want to say thank you, everybody out there, for watching, because if you weren't watching and communicating with me and taking a chance to email me to be a partner, then this wouldn't even exist. And my excitement, I may not be so excited. And then you wouldn't get to see so many emojis. and I know that that's just, you are so happy to see all the emojis. But so anyway, well, everybody, that's probably it for this exciting episode. You can be excited too. And it's not just because of the partners program. But I want to say that if you feel like the music business is not open to you, then you're going to have to do what I did. And that is, you're going to have to start your own thing. You're going to have to you're going to have to just do something that starts to make you some music income, and or just make the music that you love and just make it. Make sure you're making it. I heard a great video yesterday from Graham Cochran who talked about you can read all the books in the world, but until you implement them, what you read and learn, you're never going to get to where you want to get to. So don't be the person who says, I'm going to do this, and then never do it, and keep watching videos and keep enrolling in academies and then never doing a thing. That's one reason why I call this the Partners Program, because I make it happen. You don't come into the Partners Program and come up with an idea and then maybe it happens. It happens. You know why it happens? Because we're partners and I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to be the one every week saying, how are you doing on this? You got this yet? You got this yet? You got this yet? So that's another great reason to be part of the Partners Program. Accountability. We all need it. I need it. I have to be accountable to my partners. I have to be accountable to my libraries, and I have to be accountable to my wife. Not in that order, by the way. And I have to be accountable to God, so certainly not in that order. Hey, thanks everybody for being here today. Make sure you check out the Partners Program. And we will talk to you guys next time here on the Make Music Income podcast. Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend and have a great day. Bye-bye.